We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính Đại Đức Tận Thịnh, vì thứ Pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giáo đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Sananto Suchedo Ye Erlahadi San Miao San Putos Ye. Namo Tak Dak Tha To Ya Da Ya Ala De Tam Miao Tam Bo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Qingliang, Great Master Xuanhua, all good monks and nuns, and all good known advisors of Mitofo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, Thượng Điện Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư Thích Ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 9th already of February 2025. We're here at Way Mountain to continue discussing the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're on chapter 1. On slide 856, it's talking about the world rulers. The world has many, in our desire realm, there are many levels of heavens where the celestial beings live, they reside and watch over us. And each level of these heavens, there are a particular world ruler that watches over them. All right? So that's we're getting an introduction to who they are, how, what their names, what their names, what they did to become enlightened, and what they're doing. Okay. See what was the first part. This is the Gatha, so there are 4 lines of verses. Translated originally from Sanskrit to Chinese, now Chinese to English. All right, and so we are at the second half of the Gatha, the last 2 lines. So for the sake of giving you the context, it says the Buddha, the mainstay, all blessings, just like the 8th great earth upholding palaces. A Buddha is the mainstay of all blessings because basically all the blessings we are planting here in our Saha world are thanks to His creating this Saha world for us. Without His creation, we wouldn't be able to get here. So all the blessings here are for the sake of the Buddha, from courtesy of the Buddha. Just like the great earth upholding palaces. It's very much like all the palaces, all the precious things, the important things, your shelters, your homes, your places of business, and so forth, need to rely on the earth. Okay, and not just this higher world. By the way, Buddha here refers to all the Buddhas in the world. All right, or the Dharma body Buddha. Now, that's the last week's discussion. This week we continue. Cleverly, he teaches a path apart from worries, of security, and peace, of compassion.
巧事离忧安隐道.
I thought we discussed this already. And I was corrected. I made it, I thought we discussed about an yin.
Right. I think we're on the first bullet of on page A56.
Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So, cleverly, this is, he uses jiao. Clever is from jiao. The Buddha, when he teaches, he cannot tell us directly what we need to hear because we can't get it. So that's the nature of Buddhist teaching. We only give you allusions to what we want to tell you about, and if we point directly to what the real concept, you cannot get it. The teaching, Buddhist teaching, is about using expedience in order to bring you to accomplishments, to enlightenment. Okay, that's the only way. There's no other way. Okay, luckily for us, the expedients are numbered in the gazillions. So there are as many experiences as there are living beings that need to be saved. Okay, so as you can see, Buddha is the master of experience. And his disciples, the Bodhisattvas and the Arhats, are students in the use of expedience, if you will. All right? So he uses our expedience to do what? To instruct us. Shu is to instruct or to open, okay? To teach us. So he makes us aware of a way of life that is far better for us. And this is the advantage that us Buddhists have over the non-Buddhists, is that this path that the Buddha reveals to us, Tao, is the path, okay? Is a path, a superior path. It's a path for superior people. Okay, so in a way, most Buddhist disciples are pretty arrogant. They feel that they're superior, and it's justified because they have superior knowledge. Okay, outside of our world, the spiritual world, the worldly people, they have superior knowledge that enables them to dominate the world, to make a killing, make a living, but that's a very small confines, a very small world. Whereas this path here is a path that transcends the world, that is good for everywhere you go. For example, if you learn the way here in the Saha world, you learn to practice the way, and you die. And you're lucky, you maybe be reborn to a different world, with us like a human being, a different world. and you encounter Buddhism again, and you practice again, and you find out that whatever you accomplish here is still valid, and you still can use it on your next life's cultivation. So this path here is valid, is applicable, is effective all over the universe. Isn't that cool? For example, when we go to engineering school here, we get a degree in let's say, structural engineering, let's say, okay? And in order to practice as a structural engineer, we need to get certified by a board of structural engineers, okay? And the funny thing is that if you leave this country or go a different state, for example, I'm speaking out of my realm, another state, you have to get certified again. Yeah? Much like doctors, same thing, okay? Or worse yet, you go to a different country. You have to learn a new language. You have to learn and get certified again. So you see, so it goes to prove that the knowledge you acquire is not necessarily applicable everywhere. Okay, you need to be recertified. Whereas in Buddhism, when you learn Buddhist cultivation, you can cultivate everywhere and anywhere. Okay, any world. Okay, that knowledge there is your asset, your real asset, your edge over ordinary people, over the non-Buddhists. Question here. 7.
Thank you, Master. This commentary and sutra passage really speaks to me, especially considering a lot of the conversations I'm having lately with coworkers and family members and friends. There's a lot of worldly events that are happening right now people are coming to me and saying they're getting afflicted. Things they can't control, but they experience when they see changes to the government or changes to the weather.
Lots of upheavals and calamities, yes.
And something I'm so thankful to you for, and I want to express just gratitude I don't have the words for, but is it what
Gratitude works. I understand gratitude.
So much gratitude. Thank you, Master.
Never enough for me.
So to try to contribute to this, there's a path of security and peace, free from anxiety, that I experience because I know that in addition to the worldly events, there's also spiritual world events that I can focus on. I know that I can cross my legs, I can recite mantras, and I can give to generate blessings, independent from the worldly forces. And that provides me a path to peace that I've experienced. People who don't have this knowledge, they don't even know how to access that peace or that there's a way to do it. So I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for cultivating the path. The path is path here. He revealed, not simply he reveals, also instructs us. Revealing is superficial. He actually teaches us how to navigate this path and be apart from anxiety that will take us away from all the anxieties of the world. Okay, from worldly people. Okay, if you have depression, in particular, so many of you have depression. That's how I got my start 20 years ago, 19 and 3/4 of a year ago. Okay, where people came because they had to take a break and find a little bit of peace. And then they found out that by practicing Chan, by practicing Pureland, they feel better. And they got to start. It gets better and better. Okay, yeah. And so it is possible because of the path that the Buddha taught us that can bring us to places where we're free from anxiety, free from worries, free from afflictions. Depression is just an affliction. Not only are we proud of the fact that we help so many of you rise above your affliction, or if you're not yet, then you are able to more effectively deal with your afflictions, with your, let's say, depression. And some of you are even able to be free from depression, effectively live a normal life. Okay? And that's what this path is about. I was very bipolar. I'm still very extreme bipolar, but I can at very often, and I'm free from these mental disorders, and I find myself being able to show you how to do it. Okay, so this is what the tradition in Buddhism is about. Okay. Just because you're in trouble, just because you are feeling bad, doesn't mean that you have to be a victim to your afflictions the rest of your life. If you want to do something about it, it's something called the path that will bring you freedom from your afflictions, from your anxieties, from your worries. Okay, this path here is a path of An-Wen, actually An-Yin here. I apologize. I talked to my Chinese disciples. They told me, with their research, that An-Yin here is kind of old. It's equivalent to An-Wen, which is what I thought this character should be. An-Wen is slightly different. The head thing here, the left, what do they call it? Division? Bu, right? Huh?
部首.
See, amazing. You learn something new every day. Yeah. 部首. This one here, actually, it should be different. I learned it different. Okay. So An-Wen, but actually An-Yin and An-Wen from old Chinese is the same thing. Okay, apparently. But my research on my dictionary says this yin here actually refers to compassion. So it works both ways. Okay, from my stupidity, I can explain it as compassionate way of compassion, which is what Buddhism is about as well. But Old Chinese it means a path of safety and stability. How's that? Okay. This cultivation will bring you to safety and bring more stability to your life. And to me, it's fascinating because it's so important to have security and stability, isn't it? Isn't that something about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Okay, first thing is safety. Yeah, lowest level of need, the base is safety, security. All right, so it's so interesting. So Buddha reveals, meaning that he kind of probes you. He probes you and say, hey, if you are interested in getting more stability, more safety, and fewer worries, there's a way. And then once you show interest, he teaches us. So Shu here is both. He reveals and he instructs us. He teaches us about this path, how to tread, how to walk this path. Okay? And that's what Buddhas do all over the universe. And this celestial king, unmoving one, knows about this, meaning that that's what he does too, although not as well. All right, any questions? Next, 857. The brilliant blaze of the Buddha's wisdom fire pervades the Dharma realm. He manifests countless bodies equal to all sentient beings.
智火大明周法界，现行无数等众生。
Okay. Buddha's wisdom is comparable to light, to bright light. Okay, and this light here, its function is to illuminate the entire Dharma realm. Okay, and that's what it means is that his wisdom it applies to the entire Dharma realm. It's no problem that he cannot solve. Okay, AI hallucination, no problem. Full autonomous driving that human will never be able to achieve, contrary to what the Americans and Germans and the Chinese and Japs are claiming, is futile. They will never reach the level of full autonomy, ever. Okay? For Buddhas, no problem. Okay? So, because his wisdom here, he is able to help all the problems in the world. And that's why it is symbolized as his wisdom light, because wisdom is about making things clearer, to help you see clearer. You see, as compared to confusion, where you are, the analogy of being confused is like being bathed in being in the dark. You cannot see clearly. Whereas when you have wisdom, you can see things so clearly. That's the difference between wise people and stupid people. Wise people, we talk to them, they understand right away. Confused people, you talk until you're blue in the face, they still don't get it, and they fight you, and they fight you, and they fight you. Okay? So that's why the people who have wisdom, they're supposed to use the wisdom to help the people who have no wisdom, by shining the wisdom light on the worlds of the confused people, so that the confused people can see clearer. Isn't it amazing? Like, it's so fundamental. We come home, and of course, you open the door, and the first thing you do is flip the light switch. No? That's what I do. That's the first thing I do. I walk in, flip the light switch. Okay? And that's a fundamental need that we have. We need to see where we're going. We need to see clearly before we can survive, so that we can function. Isn't it interesting? It's so fundamental. And that's what wisdom is supposed to do. So do not ever think that wisdom is wishful thinking, is a luxury. No, it's a necessity. You have to teach your children that, your grandchildren that, your great-children that, because without wisdom, they will suffer. Okay? And this Buddha's wisdom light, okay, it shines, it reaches the entire universe, meaning that he does not reject anyone. You come to our kitchen, you offend Xian Tong, she'll say, "No more! This is my kitchen. I don't want you here." What is that called? Rejection. Buddhas never reject you. Okay? He also, the Buddha, manifests countless bodies equal in number to all sentient beings. Okay? He is intent on saving all living beings. You talk to my disciple, Chung Sunim, at JC right now. He says, "I want to save Koreans." That's his ideal. He doesn't want to save Vietnam people. The Koreans only want to save their own kind. Okay? And that because of that, he will never become a Buddha. You get it? You learn about the deeds and what Buddhas do, because you see, if you want to be like Buddha, this is what you're supposed to do. You have to open your mind, open your heart. Okay? And that's why he does it. He does it to save all sentient beings, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to save them. And the best way to save them is what? To manifest countless bodies. Isn't that interesting? What kind of bodies are we talking about? He manifests, if he wants to save Korean, he manifests as? No! As American. Koreans don't like each other. Yeah. Okay, yeah, but Korean, but it's better they manifest as Americans. GI. I'm joking, of course, okay? So what happens is that in order to get close to the living beings, the Buddhas manifest the same shapes, as the same kind of living beings as necessary. Okay? And it's not about when you try to save a Korean, you need to be Korean. No, you can manifest yourself as a cat if you are a cat-loving Korean. And you teach that owner of yours about love, of delicate things. Yeah? You see? So he leaves, the verse here leaves open what kind of shapes of living beings. You see that? Don't think like Martina here. She only wants Korean to save Koreans. No. Okay? And that's what a lot of Bodhisattva learn to do first. Bodhisattva, they cannot do like Buddhas yet. So they learn the drills by this Bodhisattva work called Dongshi, the same work. Okay, so they training to become Buddhas by learning the skill set, expedient skill set. All right, next. Everywhere and for one and all, he opens up the true and actual. The God Constellation King awakens to this path.
普为一切开真实，心宿王天悟思道。
For one and all, I mean, these people, can't we just do simple things? 一切 is for everyone. Is it the same as one and all? Hey, English majors, Americans. Huh? Is that the same? Practically 7?
Thank you, Master. Yes, everybody, for everybody.
For everyone. It, to me, is so much more powerful. Is that everywhere, for everyone, okay? Because the Buddhist teaching is very direct. it's because it's, well, actually it's not here in this case here. This is Gatha, so it's kind of poetic, so maybe poem thing is okay. Okay, I take it back. My bad. Ignore that, the last minute, erase. I changed my mind. Sorry. So for everywhere and for everyone, what does he do? He teaches. It's not open. He teaches the true and actual. Okay? So, lucky for us, those of you who attended yesterday afternoon lecture, Vimalakirti Sutra, I'm very proud to tell you, we discussed the true and the actual. The timing couldn't be better. Because the last time I discussed the Vimalakirti Sutra, I messed up badly. I threw out the actual, the real. I only kept the true. And yesterday, thanks to research from my Chinese disciple, I'm so proud of it. I have Chinese disciples. Yeah. Okay. I shared with you the concept of true and actual, or real. So, in essence, true refers to your nature, your substance, your true substance, your true self. Okay? It's inside. It's your makeup. Actual is observation or marks outside. Okay? Whatever is true inside of you actually is perceived. Okay? So inside is your substance, your wiring, your makeup, but it has a form. It's observable. And that's why inside is true, meaning is your Buddha nature. Outside is actual, meaning that you can see the true beyond the appearances. For example, I want you to, this is very important to emphasize this for you, okay? Truly, boys, truly, yours truly, okay, is very compassionate, even though I beat you up. So truly, inside of me, I'm very compassionate. Outside, I'm very mean. So actually, when you see a mean masteryonghua, actually you should be looking at my true nature, which is compassion. It's not supposed to be funny. My gosh, you're all terrible. And the Koreans don't find it funny. Look at them, they all do. What's so funny about it? Yes, Evan.
Thank you, Master. To translate for any Gen Z in the audience.
Yes, please.
That's what I believe us Gen Xers would refer to as tough love, right? Or tough compassion.
Tough love. I heard tough love. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Okay, so he teaches about the true and the actual. The true, he teaches about your true nature, your true Buddha nature, and the actual teachings in order for you to connect, to unite with your true Buddha nature. Does it help? The words, like Buddhist jargons, I don't use a lot of them, but these, the minimal ones we use, are very important concepts for you. All right? The God Constellation King awakens this path, okay? This celestial king became enlightened and recognizes his path, understands this way of teaching. All right? Meaning that he saw his Buddha nature, and he's also able to understand how the actual teaching will help living beings. 861. The Buddha, like empty space, has no intrinsic nature. Wishing the benefit sentient beings, he appears in the world.
佛如虚空无自性，为利众生现世间。
Okay. I was lazy. I didn't want to correct too much. But Buddha is like empty space and has no self-nature. Forget about intrinsic value. It's nonsense. This is going too far. Can you make the correction, please? Ms. Abyss. Get busy. Don't look at me. Are you comfortable? I can't believe it, In Asian culture, they very serious. They show the gratitude. By the way, it's called gratitude. By sitting straight, not moving. This one. And she's a vice abbot. You've been demoted to assistant abbot only. Did you make a correction, Miss Abbott? Okay. Yeah. N has no self-nature. Grammar. Replace the comma with N, please. And then otherwise, the pale-faced people think we don't know English grammar. So difficult. Yes, Chinese lady.
Nice. I have a question about this 佛如虚空无自性. The Buddha is like empty space and has no self-nature. For us, we are taught to cultivate in order to see our own self-nature. How come the Buddha has no self-nature?
You Chinese people don't understand your own Chinese language? This is a trick question? Chinese trick question? I'm kidding. You feel happier if I put parenthesis no, parenthesis self, nature? Would that help? Has no nature? There's no self.
Then what does this 自性 mean compared to what we recite every day at evening class, 自性众生誓愿度?
It's a different use. Here, 无自性 here refers to the nature that has no self. Just simplify it. Don't make it too complicated. Okay? 自性 here refers to it has no real nature. There's nothing there, like empty space. Try to grab it. You cannot see it. You cannot hold it. You cannot sniff it. You cannot smell it. You cannot hear it. Like empty space, there's nothing there. So just seeing here, same thing. You try to find the Buddha, there's nothing there. For you to have something there must be a self. In other words, that's why they translate it as intrinsic value, intrinsic nature. Okay? Whatever you see is not real. Statue behind us represents the Buddha, but actually Buddha himself is nothing there. This thing here, the statue, is for us, to help us. But the real Buddha is nothing. And it's too difficult for us to understand. Okay? So you cannot tell your children the Buddha is, look, that's a Buddha right there. Because then basically what you're saying is that Buddha, the nature, is, what is it made of? Ceramic? Porcelain? I don't know. Clay? Okay? Whereas here, Wu Tzu Xing is nothing there. How would you translate it, since you're a translator?
No self-nature.
Thank you very much. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Wouldn't it be better to say, and his nature has no self?
Have no self? Then arhats have no self either. It's best that you just follow and memorize the jargon, memorize the context it's used. You cannot combine the two of them. Okay? Arhats have no self. So the teaching of the arhat is that you get to an arhatship is because you're able to extinguish a sense of self. Why do we teach you that? It's because fundamentally, when you have a sense of self, then you suffer. Who suffers? The self suffers. Is that clear? It's so important. This is so fundamental. You suffer because you say, I am suffering. I suffer. That I there is a self. Because of that existence of a self, your awareness that there's a self in you, that's why you suffer. However, if you are 4th-stage arhat and you say, wow, I am so afflicted, I am so angry, I am so jealous. Anyone? DTT people say, I am so jealous. Okay, that's an affliction, yeah? And I told you already, I said, you are 4th-stage arhat. Now, you should become more vigilant and said, Master told me I'm 4th-stage arhat, meaning I have no self. If I am jealous, I'm aware I have jealousy, meaning myself feels jealous. In order for me to rise above this jealousy, what do? Empty myself. There's no more jealousy. I'm certifying you to help you cope and live a better life, not to brag. You 4th-stage arhat means nothing to me. Doesn't help me make any money because I made such announcement in the past, and no one ever gave me any more money than before, or praised me and worshiped me at all. They say, oh, Master, he's full of crap. He's bragging. Even Master Hsu's disciples wisely said, it's again Master Hsu's teachings because you're not supposed to reveal people things. You can't. That's why you don't reveal. I reveal to help them. I'm not revealing to help myself. Idiot. Yeah. All of you. Yeah. Idiots. Okay? You understand now? When I said you are fourth Dharma, you 1G, 2G, 3G, 5G, so forth. And when you're afflicted, what do? Stop blaming me. Empty yourself. You're supposed to do that. You have the level you can do that, supposedly. If you can't, and I know some of you are saying, but I can't. It's because your demon is stronger than you, idiot. So many idiots in my temple. Not that funny. It's so sad. I look at you and say, oh, what an idiot. 7. I had a good lunch today, so you cannot blame the food. 7.
Thank you for the opportunity, Master. I would like to go on the record and say what you reveal is profound and compassionate and so easily accessible to me. I'm eternally grateful for it and will continue to be grateful. Thank you so much. If anyone hasn't said this to you before, let me say it on their behalf because they're idiots to not say it to you often in any opportunity they have to tell you.
Yeah. Just pay up, buddy. Don't talk so much.
The check is in the mail, Master.
Promises. Parole, parole, parole. Parole is French, means words, promises. You want to hear that song? I send you a link. I love it. You laughing, let me tell you. All of you, I want you to hear the truth from me. Okay? Recently, I brought one of my disciples and allow her to listen to some music. And she said, what? You listen to music? I said, yeah. When no one is looking, I listen. And I let her listen to French music on a nice pair of speakers, not mine, okay? I just borrowed my disciples' TV and speakers. And she sat there for 3 hours. So after an hour, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom, and I snuck out. Okay? The point being that don't think that cultivation is self-deprivation. It's like Master Hsua teaches by peers. Well, they're not by peers. They're more like, if you ask me, okay? But like, I'm pure, no. If you're from the Pure Land, what do you think happens in the Pure Land? This morning, we recited the sutra. Were you paying attention? In this Pure Land, let me remind you, there is a very fine, subtle breeze that blows through the trees And from the trees will emanate this 诸微妙音. It is from this tree here emanates this so subtle and so sublime sound. What is that? Pureland music, you idiots. You think people in the Pureland do not listen to music? I beg to differ. Okay? When in the Saha world, we teach you first not to listen to music, but after you reach a certain level, you should listen to music. Have some culture, for God's sake. Don't be so boring. Yes, 6, South Carolina.
From YouTube, from Jane Clymer. Master, I thank you for telling me my levels, Amitofo.
Just pay up, don't thank me. Anyone else? 7.
Thank you, Master. I did want to compliment our Chinese Dharma sister's question. It was so beautifully spoken and articulated in English. I know that she speaks Chinese natively, and I could never hope to ask that kind of question in Chinese. So thank you so much. It spoke to me directly to the core of the concept that what differentiates Buddhahood from where we are is that lack of self, and as well as the ability to create marks so that those of us who need them can use them to learn the path. That was what I took away from it. I just wanted to share.
Yeah, very good. Yes, DTT. Of course, Jumi, my favorite Korean disciple.
네, 감사합니다.
Only you and Jack Yon would listen to me. I adore you. Pan out, zoom back a little bit, zoom out a little bit, so that you see at DTT where we spend so much money. We have 2 lay people listening to my lecture. Okay, look at that, 2 lay people. The rest of them are all asleep. The rest is left from people who have no choice. Go ahead, Jumi. Sorry, I got distracted.
맞서 절에 제 질문이 절에 개인적으로 오퍼링을 했는데 사실은 제가 오퍼링한 물건이 절에 딱 필요한 물건은 아닌데 제가 개인적인 이유가 있어서 오퍼링을 했거든요. 한번 끊을게요.
Master, I offer something to the temple with my own decision. It's not necessarily needed by the temple.
그래서 이런 경우에는 일단 오퍼링을 했고 제가 기도하는 기간은 끝났으니까 절에 꼭 필요한 물건은 아니니까 제가 도로 가져가도 되는지, 절에 필요 없는 물건은 절에 약간 쓰레기가 될 수 있을 것 같아가지고 제가 질문 드립니다.
So in this case, I offered, and then my praying is over. So if that offering item is not needed by the temple, it's like a trash in a way to the temple. Can I take it back in this case?
What is it? Is it a car? I know what. XM3. She drives an XM3 in Korea. Yeah. Is that the XM3 that I saw in the parking lot of JMT?
그 BMW XM3는 마스터께서 예전에 마스터 XC한테 오퍼링 하라고 했는데 마스터 XC가 안 계셔가지고 하는 수 없이 저희가 계속 소유해야 될 것 같아요.
Master, regarding to BMW XM3, I remember that you asked us to offer to Venerable XC, but he's not there, so I think we need to continue to keep that X3 with us.
So many excuses in Koreans. Okay, let's go back to the real issue. What did you give?
그러니까 제가 히스토리가 제가 3제라서 사리전시 시작하는 기간에 첫날에 글로브와 양말을 저에다가 오퍼링을 하라고 했어요. 점장이가. 네, 그래서 이제 갖고 와서 오퍼링. 네, 네네네.
So what happened is there is a fortune, I guess, things that there's called like 3 bad lucks. Then the fortune teller told me that before the relic exhibit starts, I need to offer gloves and shoes.
그래서
Okay.
네, 그러니까 현보스님한테 여쭤봤더니 3제가 영어로 없다고 해서 그냥 3년 동안 운이 좀 좋지 않고 이거에 해당되는 게 토끼띠랑 양띠랑 돼지띠라고 하면 마스터께서 이해하실 것 같아요.
Now I know why her husband sent her here.
So here, when I explain about bad luck, it's related to the horoscope, like Chinese horoscope. For 3 years, you're gonna have a bad luck. In this year, it will be sheep and pig and rabbit ears. We'll have a bad lucks for next 3 years.
Sheep or shit?
Sheep.
Sheep. Ah, okay, sorry. I thought I heard something else.
Sheep.
예, 그래서 제 생각에는 글러브는 DTT에 필요할 것 같은데 나머지는 필요할 것 같지 않아가지고 제가 이거를 다시 가져가는 게 오히려 사찰에 기여하는 게 아닌가 생각이 들어서 질문 드려봤습니다. 삭스예요.
So gloves, maybe I could leave it at DTT, but the socks that I offered, can I take it back? I don't think DTT needs it.
Yeah, whatever. You have okay, please don't lose any sleep over it. Next, wishing the benefit sense in beings he appears in the world. Give me a minute, I recompose myself. So, Buddhas appear in the world because it's the optimal time for him to save as many living beings as possible. So what does it mean? It means that he sends his disciples. He's not here right now, for example. Okay, so what does he do? He sends his disciples, the bodhisattvas and the arhats and pratika Buddhas to come to our world to teach us to cultivate. So when there is enough of us, enough momentum, enough mass, that's when Buddha will appear in the world to save these many people whose roots, whose blessings can mature. Is that clear? Okay? Yeah. And so, preferably, he's there. His primary purpose is to help living beings become enlightened. Okay? But those who do not become enlightened, he's also there to benefit them in ways that they don't understand. So the two groups of people, the people who are enlightened, they appreciate it, and the majority of the living beings don't get it, but he still benefits them regardless. He doesn't reject them. He benefits us all. Okay? And this is important because this is why we put so much emphasis on developing your heart. You know, so that your heart grows bigger and bigger. And part of that, I feel, is Our education system helps our mind help us become more open-minded instead of being closed-minded. In order for your heart to open up, your mind has to open up. Okay? So I can't stress this enough. We should encourage our children, the young ones, to study and study and study and open their minds. That's very, very important. Not necessarily because they need to go into engineering and whatever. If that whatever interests them, they should be encouraged to do that, open their mind. And with an open mind, they will find something important to do with their lives. Because many people, many overachievers are quite often, more often not, end up in the field that's different from the field studies. Two of us, you see? 2 out of 20 ain't bad. All right? Next, 864. Adorned with fine marks and characteristics, a reflection, Celestial King Pure Enlightenment perceives thus.
相好庄严如影像，净觉天王如是见。
So it says here, Buddhas, this refers to the transformation body Buddha, meaning that small size, about our size, is called transformation body. It's about human size, okay? Although very tall, not short at all. The Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, which is a transformation body Buddha, has hallmarks, okay? 相好, hallmarks and subtle characteristics. Each the transformation body Buddhas, they have 32 hallmarks and 80 subtle characteristics. Hallmarks are like, what are the hallmarks? Long ears. Okay, look at the statues, don't look at me. Okay, the ears are so long, okay, which simplifies what symbolizes what? Long life, maybe? I don't know. Huh? Long life? Long life, right? Actually, funny thing, when I first started cultivating, my ears are actually shorter. You look at my old photos, my ears are actually shorter. Now it's about 1 millimeter, a little bit longer. I believe. Never mind. Okay, so the 32 hallmarks are, like his hands can reach the knees. Unlike one Teksunim. You noticed something this morning? Let me demonstrate. Bam. This morning. See, very tall, very handsome, This is like I'm one Teksunim. Okay? So he looks so adorned, everything, right? Can they hear me? 6, come up. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, I need to use my hands. I'm very expressive. Italian. Okay. Turn it on, man. So he's this tall, very straight, very good posture, very adorned, okay? A little bit wimpy voice, but he's standing there, and as soon as he needs to reach the handbell, okay, what does he do? Do you notice that? He bent over, like me, and pick it up. Okay? The handbell, same thing. And he's done. No, you don't want to break the line. Hey, Korean, the line is beautiful. Okay? Your hands are longer than mine. You don't need to bend. I found it funny because the line is so beautiful. The whole time he stood there erect, very adorned, and then when you need to hit the bell, no one taught you these things. It's common sense. You just reach down nonchalantly, as if no one notices. Okay? And then hit, and then you nonchalantly drop down. Don't do like me. Look, see, when you're short, that's what you have to do. Get it? You don't, when you do ceremonies, you do as with little movement as possible. Because when you're in samadhi, you don't move. Get it? Oh God, I thought it was so fundamental. Thank you. How did I get there? Never mind. Hallmarks. Anyway, I only have 10 more minutes. All right, thank you. See, so these the Buddha has many hallmarks. His hands are so long, like gorilla hands. He can reach his knees. That's a sign of as a hallmark, by the way. Okay, and then what else? A bump on top of his head, like in the statues there. That's a hallmark. Okay, and so on and so on. There are 32 of them. On top of it, there are 80 subtle characteristics. What are they? I don't remember. It's been a while. Anyone remember what the Xianghao? Huh? Okay, so he has 80. Not only does he have 32 hallmarks of great men, when you have those features that you have the characteristics of great men, then on top of it, you have 80 subtle characteristics. Okay, like polished fingernails, I don't know. French nails, I don't know. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Some of those 80 are nails of copper color, nails glossy.
See, French colors, I knew it already.
And nails slightly raised, fingers and toes rounded, fingers and toes tapering, veins not prominent.
No varicose veins in the legs? Yeah.
And those ankles hidden, feet of equal length.
Equal length, not like 1 foot is shorter than the other?
Gait steady like a lion, gait majestic like a swan.
Lion don't walk.
And so on and so on.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yes, sir, 6.
From YouTube, T.S. Geppetto, who was the French musician that managed to mesmerize the disciple, and some French word, Aznavour, Eric, Sate. I said it wrong.
Yeah, no, Joe Dassin. Joe Dassin. French pronounces Dassin. Okay? So, all right. And lots of French singer Christophe and Adamo and François Hardy and so forth. I gave those my small audience a quick rundown of the French music at my era we listened to growing up, romantic music. Because my disciples said, "What's so great about this music?" I said, "You are not romantic. Your soul lacks romance." Okay. Where are we? Okay, a reflection. He says, is but a reflection, it's not the real thing. Reflection symbolizes that it's not the real deal. All the 32 hallmarks, 80 subtle characteristics simply are a reflection. They're not real. They're not the real Buddha. And Celestial King, Pure Enlightenment, perceives this. He understands it because he's working on it himself. He's working on his 32 characteristics, the 32 hallmarks and 80 subtle characteristics. We accrue them. They accrue them gradually as they cultivate. Anyone else? All right. Next, from all the pores on the Buddha's body issue universal sounds. His Dharma cloud blankets the entire world.
佛身毛孔普眼音，法云复世悉无余。
Okay. So, did I mess it up again? Yeah? Don't have to be so straight. I taught her yesterday, when you have straight mind, you can stay quiet. Some people never learn. From all the pores of the Buddha's body issue universal sound. So we have many pores, right? Many fine hairs. And I'm pretty sure all of a sudden this gives me image of Buddhas have so many hair, so hairy. It's so funny. It's like Americans, they're so hairy. Not funny. Okay, sorry. All the pores, whether it's fine hair or black hair, doesn't matter, white hair, okay, issue universal sounds. Okay, what's universal sounds? First of all, when Buddha wants to make a sound, does he need a violin? Huh? No, he uses his pore. Right here in the verse. He doesn't use a violin, doesn't use a flute, an oboe. Okay? He uses his pore. He said, hey, pore, number 1087. Do. There. Okay? So he can make sounds with the pores of his body. Isn't that fantastic? It's such a good use to make peace. Anyway, what's universal sounds? All sorts of sounds. Yes? Any kind of sounds. Agree? Pu. Okay? All sorts of sounds. But what's universal? Pu Yan Yin. You have to be Chinese. Don't help them, Chinese person. Okay? Chinese people, don't help them. What is this? They tell you their translation is kind of a little bit liberal. Okay? I would translate differently. You know, I would translate the pores, okay, of the Buddha's body, okay, they produce sounds. Yen zhou. Yen here is actually yen zhou. Emits is okay, not issue, okay? Emits sounds. But yen here is more like an orchestra, a symphony. It's very beautiful, folks. It's like his pores are like an orchestra. That's how I read it. But somehow it becomes issue universal sounds. It's lack of imagination. The Chinese, these translators, the people who translated Mahayana our disciples, they really have no culture. I think they never been to symphony. Because all these here, like countless musical instruments, and they emit sounds. They're not emitting discordant sound. They emit a sound like in a symphony or like a rock band. I don't care. But it's yin. Here is yin. So is to play like an orchestra. What's the English word for that? Wake up, guys. 7. You're supposed to help out. English is not my major. My major is Vietnam.
Thank you, Master. I think, to echo what Master X just said, performs a symphony.
Performs a symphony. I just said that.
But performs.
Performs.
So emits is like not, a symphony does not emit.
No, but you, but it's too worldly to say perform. Okay. Emit is more neutral. When you emit, I explain it as you untie all your pores, which is so many different musical instruments. It's a performance. Okay? But emit is from each pore. Yes, 9. What's the Spanish perspective?
Yeah, I guess for us, even in Spanish, is emitting is something that it just comes like in harmony when you're singing a symphony. So that sounds actually pretty cool. That's really, really nice.
Panama has spoken. Oh, Mexico, sorry. Yes, 7.
I think you could also, resonates could be.
Yeah, that's nice too. That's nice too. You can use so many words. So such beautiful words you can use. Yes, 6.
I just want to say it's universal because music is universal. It can reach all different countries, or it doesn't matter, right? Different continent.
Yeah.
Even if it's a different language, I'll listen
That's
to it.
Yeah. So it says the pores on the Buddha's body emits sounds that reaches everywhere. The symphony here is not only for the music hall, but actually you can hear this everywhere in the entire universe. Da, 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 da. Oh, never mind. Yes, 7.
I think reverberates. Reverberates would be what's happening.
I'm impressed with your vocabulary. What does it mean?
It's what you experience when you're in a grand symphony orchestra music hall. The sound reverberates throughout the hall, so it isn't like a function.
And makes my heart palpitate.
Yes.
The reverberation refers to the fact when it reverberates, it makes you palpitate here. Yeah? And that's a connotation.
It makes me think of the feeling I get when Master Z performs the mantra recitation on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's right. You hear it here, but actually it reverberates to your heart and go down to your feet. And you say, woo! The poor gentleman sits there and says, this is a Dharma lecture? Sutra lecture? No, it's not Sutra lecture. We gossiping. Okay. And so, can you change it, the English, please? Because it doesn't do justice to what he's trying to convey. Go ahead, Abbas. Yeah? No, reverberate. No, don't listen to the white, pale-faced people. Use mine. Emits sounds. that reach everywhere. Grammar, reach with no E. Yeah. Yes.
Tres.
Thank you. No, I was thinking of polite term for drug smugglers. Just kidding, yes.
Master, but if it's like a symphony, should we add like a harmony word in the sentence?
Emits harmonious sounds, but then it's too much description. Okay, it's overdoing it. Okay, give me something to do. Give me some room to explain. You say harmony, then it's like I might also read this and not bother explaining anything to you. His Dharma cloud blankets the entire world. See, that's Pu. This Pu here is reach everywhere. Okay? His Dharma cloud blankets. Okay? Blanket is such a like army kind of thing. Army blanket, that's what I have. Fu here is covers, envelops. Is it fair to say Fu can be envelops? Come on, translator, you forgot your Chinese already, your English already? Fu, dictionary people, what happened to your chat GPT? Yes, sir, Seven.
Well, I like blankets, like snow blankets when it falls. It's comforting.
Yeah, but it's more like colloquial. This Fu here is actually has, to me, evokes a very poetic feeling. Not blanket. Blankets like safety blankets, like blanketing the enemy. Fu here is actually covers from the top.
Encompasses.
Encompass. Blankets here, close to you. Fu is up there. What? 9. Let me check the Chinese. 9. See, they don't get it. 9. Wake up. Yes.
Fu is like a canopy.
Canopy, covering the entire world. Huh? Hovering the entire world. Hovering is like a machine. Don't trust the Chinese English. We call it Chinglish. Yes, 5. What happened to your boyfriend?
He got very sick.
But I thought he was like under the spell of some kind of Christian king.
Please help my
Demon king.
I don't know. That's why he needs help.
Ain't my problem.
Thank you. Just question, so the English, does it do enough to cover the Chinese part, 细无语?
细无语
Yeah.
without remainders, without excluding anything, anyone. His Dharma clouds. Yes, 9?
Oh, Master will. So here I checked with ChatGPT, and it gave like several. Like one is like even casing, so nothing. It's out. Like everything is protected.
So what's the word?
Casing.
Case?
ASING.
Casing.
Or would it be too like?
It sounds like plastic. Plastic case.
There is shield, wrapped, enclosure, overlay, and casing is exactly that, nothing.
Blanket, actually blanket is not bad. Blanket is pretty good. Now that you gave me all the ChatGPT choices, let's not use it anymore. Enveloping? I like enveloping. I like my choice better. Yes, 7.
I think, if canopies will encompass, but snow would blanket. So if you're looking for complementary verbs, it's important what the cloud is.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So that's use blanket. I'm too tired, and time is up. Okay, no more questions, no more comments. This Dharma cloud blanks the entire world without remainder. With no exclusion, without remainder is kind of mathematical. With no exclusion. Okay? And the point here is that he provides, he shields the entire world, number one, meaning that's the realm of his power, is that he can shield the entire world. Okay? Without rejecting anyone. Everyone is included. Everyone is taken into consideration, including what happened to the man yesterday, Chihuahuas. I was so unhappy when he picked on my Chihuahuas. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.